Hey, what's going on, Teach Better fam? It's Chris here, and I am bringing you another bonus episode this weekend. In this bonus episode, we are highlighting a recent TEDx talk that Rae Hughart gave regarding the future of education and the change in instructional practices educators should begin thinking about and shifting towards. If 2020 has taught us anything, it is that educators have adapted and innovated at all costs. We've been thrown into a brand new environment that we've never had to deal with before and came out successful. However, moving forward, Rae really challenges us to think about what does the future of instruction look like and how we should all begin thinking about focusing on personalized student learning, individual student support, and focusing on teaching through the lens of mastery learning. I really enjoyed her talk, and I hope you guys do as well. Let's get into it.
We've thrown educators to the wolves in 2020. From a pandemic to stressors beyond our wildest dreams, with distracting backgrounds in our students' lives invading our virtual classroom. In my middle school classroom, I have seen students flopping around, falling out of their seats, and even snoozing on their laptop keyboards. And virtual learning has only intensified these behaviors. Therefore, I've had to put a large emphasis on discussing how to prepare our bodies for learning by choosing to actively sit. Do this with me. Plant your feet, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest, and feel your entire body activate. I want you to be as active in this experience as humanly possible. Since the global pandemic has entered our communities in full force, every educator has done what they do best. Educators have committed to thinking on their feet and developing learning opportunities no matter the hurdles ahead. Teachers continue to spend hours dissecting new technology tools and creating new routines to collaborate with colleagues, and yet, with all these tools and collaborations made available, most classroom instruction continues to be rooted in the dark ages. We can do better. Teachers are more than vessels to transfer information. Teachers are naturally innovative. Teachers love to inspire, and teachers are professionals at fostering deep thinking. We must stop putting teaching in a box filled with direct instructional approaches and instead shift instruction to form a mastery learning lens. Mastery learning is a self-paced approach that allows students personalized opportunities for feedback and the permission one needs to fully master an idea. Let's talk through an example. I grew up with 2 biological parents and 6 family friends who might as well have been blood related. These people attended every birthday party, dance recital, special education meeting, and first date I was ever a part of. Yes, I did say first date, but that's a story for another time. And yes, I did say special education, but I'll talk more about that here in a little bit. At our annual holiday party, the same trick using 2 corks was shown every year. Look around. If you have something close by where you're actively seated, pick up 2 objects similar in size to a marker cap. You can do this with any rectangular or cylinder object. You may choose to roll up a piece of paper, grab 2 lip balm containers, or pick up 2 pen caps for this challenge. But don't worry, if you don't have something easily accessible right now, you can attempt this challenge later. Place 1 object in each hand between your thumb and forefinger. Now, using your middle finger and thumb, your goal is to transfer these items from one hand to the other at the same time. The first time most people attempt this challenge, they end up locking the marker caps together, failing in their ability to make the transfer without lifting their fingers. Tricky, huh? The reality is, all of you can do it. If I went step by step and showed you the correct placement, twisting your wrist ever so slightly and modeling the movement in front of you, each and every one of you would eventually be successful in this task. And then you, too, could share this at your next holiday party. But what if I was specific and the amount of time you had to learn or the number of tries you got in this experience? All right, class, step right up. You get 2 opportunities to get this right. The reality is a small percentage of you would find success, and others would fail, only to be left with 2 marker caps in your hand. Ugh, not nearly as satisfying. You deserve the time it would take to master this party trick. And whether it be on the 3rd or 43rd try, you deserve the opportunity to learn, to be successful, and to celebrate your victory. That's mastery learning. Mastery learning isn't new. What is new is how we utilize our current technologies, our latest resources, so that students can be successful. Online tools made available on platforms like YouTube do not replace teachers in the classroom. Rather, these resources provide support to deliver the initial moments of instruction. Anything you want to learn right now exists for free on the internet, on a video, online blog, or podcast. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Because in just a few clicks, you and any student can begin your learning journey, but how you move from being familiar with a concept to fully understanding the inner workings of an idea, that takes a master facilitator. Remember the cork challenge? Let's say, for the sake of example, my mother made a 30-second YouTube clip modeling how to solve this tricky challenge. And as your teacher, I provide you the following instructions. Either on your own or in a small group, crank up the volume and watch this YouTube clip to learn how to successfully master this challenge. Remember, videos have options to support whatever type of learner you are. So utilize the rewind, the fast forward, the pause, and the closed captioning as you see fit. But then, I want you to hop on a Zoom call to conference with me. During our discussion, I'll not only ask you to demonstrate what you've learned, but take questions to foster discussion around this idea, because it's not only about the execution of the task. I want you to dive deeper and explore why conceptually this task is challenging to grasp and where the common hurdles are found in the process of mastering it. Why? Because I'm better than YouTube. I can foster discussion. I can facilitate reflection. I can ensure learning is not only consumed, but experienced. I can ask you deeper questions and follow up with personalized feedback. See? I don't need to lecture to the masses over and over while you sit quietly trying to keep up. I can instead utilize a platform filled with curated content to support you in forming a basic understanding of this idea, providing me, as your instructor, the freedom to converse with you as you dive deeper in your depth of knowledge. And I can grant you the support and personalized feedback you need to be successful every single time, because you deserve to learn, whether it take you 3 or 43 tries. That's mastery learning. Mastery learning would have honestly changed my life. When I was young, there were a lot of skills that took me 43 times or more to learn. Miss Davison, my 2nd grade teacher, along with the support of my school's special education department, diagnosed me SLD, specific learning disability, in math, reading, and writing. What does that mean? Well, to me, it meant I was incapable of learning. It was my understanding that reading was the avenue to consuming knowledge. Therefore, if you can't read, you can't learn. I vividly remember being seated in a desk in middle school as my teacher asked me to get back to work, and I looked her in the eye and said, "I can't do this. I can't read what you've handed me." As I sat back in my chair in tears, blurred my vision. Actually, to lend some perspective, I think I'm the only 6th grade math teacher who's ever received a D in 6th grade math. In high school, I was told that I was not even college material and that Illinois State University was too far out of my reach. So, how did I go from being labeled not college bound to teaching a class at ISU, earning a master's degree in education, and publishing 2 books not even a decade later? By demanding mastery learning opportunities. Even while writing this TED speech, I would type my ideas in a Google Doc because, by the way, I've totally mastered some epic typing skills after competing against my middle school students. But in the process of editing, rather than rereading the text in front of me, I use a Chrome extension to read the text back in audio form. I consume 80 to 90% of text, whether it be in a book, article, email, or lengthy text message in audio form. I consider those audio add-ons my lifeline for learning. Because being a good teacher is not only about adapting or modifying learning opportunities for students to best fit their individual needs, but allowing each student the time and support to take ownership and see the power in mastering these skills. That is mastery learning. Mastery learning, also known as competency-based learning or outcome-based learning, has been strongly supported by the academic literature. The meta-analysis of 108 independent studies on the effects of mastery learning conducted by Kulik, and Banger and Drones in 1990 showed that mastery learning had a moderate to positive effect on student performance. Thomas R. Guskey, a widely respected mastery learning expert and professor emeritus in the College of Education at the University of Kentucky, defined mastery learning as a philosophically based approach to teaching and learning. He classified the concept back in 1980 as a new way of educational thinking. Now, nearly 40 years later, these concepts are still only found in classrooms labeled progressive. Anderson and Burns, seen as mastery learning experts following decades of their educational research, published a study in 1987 highlighting the focus on time and attempts it may take a student to learn a concept as completely arbitrary, recognizing that whether it took a student 3 or 43 times to master an idea, the ability to learn should not be dismissed based on an arbitrary social norm, unsupported by research, and driven by impatience or political agendas. We may be on a roller coaster this year, but with an invested teacher and progressive mastery learning practices, combined with our current technological capabilities, no one can stop an intrinsically motivated learner, not even 2020. So here's your assignment. Educators, choose to think differently and see yourself as more than just a vessel to transfer information. Choose instead to serve in a role as a facilitator of exploration. Students, see every video, every podcast, and every book as an opportunity to learn. Consumable information is everywhere. Community members, demand support for your school teachers in utilizing effective 21st century practices. Where do you begin? Get your teachers training on utilizing these progressive concepts through professional development opportunities. Let's leave the low-level, direct instruction to YouTube clips and transform teachers from content delivery systems into facilitators of learning for all. Because if we choose to make these shifts, both within ourselves and in partnership with those around us, our classrooms will not reflect an ancient way of thinking, and instead will support and inspire a mindset of problem solvers dedicated to constructing a world we cannot yet even imagine. Now, let's pick up those marker caps and let's try this again. Thank you.